I'm also joined by Sanjay Suri right after Donald Trump's statement. Sanjay Suri, I want to get your take on what Donald Trump has just said. He has said this is a tactic to create jobs. There will be short-term discomfort, but clearly he's created room for nations across the globe to make a deal with the United States. He's willing to risk it all, risk the economic health of the United States to make a better deal. He has said that this is something that is required when it comes to make America great again, if you will.
You know, the Wall Street Journal put a question the other day, a simple question. Does Trump understand money? On the basis of this decision, that question becomes a bit louder. We are speaking about reciprocal tariffs, and let's say we speak of India first, because India does come first. The reciprocal tariffs will affect no country on earth more than they will affect India, because of all the trading partners of the US, the difference is highest with India. So tariffs are highest in India amongst all the countries that the US trades with. So if the US government were to now act exactly as Trump has said that it must, exactly in line with the declared policy of the President of the United States, how do you then have reciprocal tariffs? You have to compare apples with apples, not oranges with apples. What is it that India exports to the US? What is it the US exports to India? If India is exporting, say, a set of clothes, and they are going into the retail market and we bought at some place down the street from here, that will have one level of tariffs. And if India is importing the F414 engines from General Electric, that has another set of tariffs. How are you going to start matching this? This is a morass. This is a whole maze. The whole world is being engaged in trying to work out how trade balances can be worked out in micro ways and in macro ways. Neither way do they quite work out. There is no agreement really that is functioning. The
Absolutely.
World Trade Organization, who has said that it's the umbrella group that has brought predictable uniformity in world trade. It's a long way from that. In the US, you had the trade agreement with Canada and Mexico. Where did that go? Overnight, it disappeared. So we are looking at a world of trade where regulation is difficult and evening out rules across all sales, across all products. We are talking about millions and millions of products, each with its own circumstances of manufacturing, its own pricing, its own profit margins worked out. How are you going to start comparing and working these things out? This is going to look a very, very difficult job unless, in the best case scenario, it were to be said that, well, he didn't quite mean it, and Trump for himself to acknowledge, as he would have to in such a scenario one day, I didn't quite mean it. I just was using it as a negotiating ploy. I'm okay with different levels of tariffs to the US. Again, not very likely that Trump can come on board and say that, even if he has secured some concessions. So this is really starting something where the end is nowhere in sight. Immediately, just a quick final thought on this. In the immediate, the one to be hit most perhaps will be the US itself, because once you have imposed tariffs, then who is going to pay for the higher costs? It's going to be the consumer. How much can the retailer absorb? How much can the exporter absorb? And once inflation goes up, and we are talking about import of tomatoes, food, bread, basic everyday food. If this goes up, then how kind will America be to Trump?
Absolutely. And the Trump official there standing next to him said that we will conduct and finish all the studies by the 1st of April. But as Sanjay is pointing out, this is a huge and arduous task to try to figure out a balancing point with nations across the globe. Now, at the same time, Trump also has to think about the midterm elections. He won the elections against Joe Biden by promising to bring down prices. If his move escalates inflation, raises prices on essential goods, he has the midterm elections to think of, because the American people will punish him if he doesn't control inflation.
The last hour. Anything can happen between the bells. But what happens during the last hour is what matters the most. the biggest market swings. A close-up look at what's driving them and how the investors are reacting. Watch the most seasoned market mavens guide you through the most important hour of the trading day. NSE Closing Bell. At these times, only on CNBC TV 18 and CNBCTV18.com.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV 18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV 18 on all the social media platforms.